Morning, guys. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate it, and happy Sunday to those of you who don't. Today's video, I wanted to share with you my first Club Sursee package. Pretty purple envelope, guys. Club Sursee, and it gives you the pronunciation, which is Sursee. It's a noun, and then it gives you the definitions. A southern colloquialism for a surprise, a little unexpected gift, a just because or thoughtful, no special occasion treat. And I subscribed to the basic package just because for right now, like for this kit, the deluxe had, for the second part of the package that's not including the basic, it had the dies to cut out the stamp set and 2 sentiment dies. Now the sentiment dies would have been nice, but I don't need the dies to cut the images out because I have the Brother Scan and Cut now. So I want to see, before I switch to deluxe, how often dies to cut out the images get sent, because it really wouldn't be worth it for me. So right now we're going with the basic, and it had this little piece of paper about the club. It just says, "Welcome to the wonderful world of Club Sursee." I'm not going to read it all because I want to make sure this video stays short. Crafty surprises in your mailbox every single month. Yes, please. It tells you what basic members get, what the deluxe members get, and then to share your cards and what you create on social media with hashtag Club Sursee. And this month, I did use them, but I packaged it back up. I wanted to make sure I had a card all ready to recreate for you for the video. And then I packaged it back up to show you. So the stamp set, the first stamp set has a whole bunch of wildflowers and leaves, dandelions, or, you know, they're not really dandelions. I think they're a flower. I love it that they're solid. You got a little, like, check squares. I forget what they're called. It's very late here. It's like 3:30 in the morning. In a field of roses, you are a wildflower. Live life in full bloom. Cry, laugh, remember. Now, most of you might have seen this if you were looking into Club Sursee, because she did show the first month to kind of show people what they were getting. But after this month, they're going to be a surprise, so you won't know until you receive your package. The second stamp set is some background textures. We've got, I forget what that's, like houndstooth, some burlap, what it looks like burlap, some bricks, and some writing. And I think that, yep, that's actually what it's called, background textures. So we're going to recreate a card. I made this card here before I made the video, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to switch up the colors. And I went with non-traditional colors. So I wanted to use my stone blue, juniper mist, seafoam, and spruce. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to recreate this card. This time I'm going to use a fog card base from Simon Says Stamp. And I already have my 2 pieces of cardstock cut out. I'm not going to use my Misty for this because the Catherine Pooler stamps with their Catherine Pooler inks usually stamp out pretty well for me. There's no restamping, and knock on wood, I have not had a problem with that yet since I started buying them. I think instead of going with the burlap, since we're switching up the colors, I'm going to switch up the background stamp as well and make it look just a little bit different. So we're going to go with the handwriting. And this time I'm going to go with the seafoam green for the background instead of the stone blue. And I'll let you know the colors as I make the card. I'll let you know the colors that were used on this as opposed to what I'm using on this. Maybe I'll just do it upside down. So I'm making this video so late because I was up doing the kids' baskets and hiding them, and then hiding eggs for the Easter egg hunt that have money in them, because that's how we I want to make sure I get the right side. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. We usually do that every year. It was weird making only four, you know what, I'm going to stamp this out just in case I have it upside down, just to see what I have here. Okay, so it goes like this. It's weird making only 4 baskets this year. At one point in time, I never made 8 all at one time because Jax wasn't born yet. So I'm pretty sure 7 was the most I made at one time, because Kelly was still living in the house. I'm not centering this because I want to put the sentiment up at the top. I just want to make sure I get enough pressure there. Sometimes when you're using the glass mat, because it's got the little legs underneath, sometimes I have a problem depending on where I'm stamping. It bends down just a little bit, enough to make the stamp uneven. I'll put that back. Okay, so on this card, the first couple wildflowers I used Juniper Mist for the main flowers on the sides, and then second generation stamped them with the same color. And then in the center I used Seafoam Green. On this one, we're going to use the, Spruce. And then we're going to use the Stone Blue in the middle. And if you hear snoring in the background, excuse that, it is the dog. It's actually the dog. I'm also going to switch up what side they're on. Just to make the card look different. So they kind of have the same idea going on, but it changes them up just enough to make them, you know, to have 2 slightly different cards. So I'm not going to get much sleep before the kids wake up. Now I pushed that one down so hard, I'm going to stamp this again on a scrap piece of paper so I can second generation it. Yeah, they're not going to let me sleep in. They're going to be excited. Maybe not the older girls. They would sleep in if the younger kids let them, but once Riley gets up, she will wake Jax up, she will wake the girls up, and Emily, she's my 3rd oldest. She came over to sleep over so she could watch the kids find their baskets. Okay, on to the next stamp. Got my tweezers in the way here. I like it in the green too. I like it just as much as I like it in the blue. Green and blue are my 2 favorite colors. Alright, now we're going to do the center, which is going to be with the Stone Blue. I don't know how many of you have Catherine Pooler inks, but I am hooked. I definitely want to eventually have the whole collection. And I don't know if if you can tell in that first card, but I did stamp this flower twice. But it kind of, with those dark blue flowers on either side, it kind of blended in. So this time I'm just tipping it a little bit so that those show a little bit more. And then I'm just going to put one more lower, just put it lower towards the bottom. And instead of doing the round one that I used on the first card, I'm going to use what looks like a fern to me. You'll see it in a second. But I'm going to use a smaller block because I don't want to use the whole stem. Okay, that's enough for me. I think I've actually might have overdid it. It's not going to look horrible, but to me I think there's one too many ferns down there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the juniper mist to make the mat for the card. And that's going to be this guy here. And I purposely used my wonky stitch die from Simon Says Stamp to cut it out first because I wanted the white to show through in the stitching, kind of like it's highlighted. So I wanted to do that again, so that's what I did there. Doesn't have to be perfect. That center is going to be covered up. I have the ink on my hands. Let me just get a little bit of hand sanitizer from holding the paper down. I always forget that I want to start using a scrap piece of paper when I ink blend and when I do inking like that, and I always forget. I just want to make sure I covered everything that's needs to be covered. And I'm going to clean this up real quick so it doesn't get on the back of my card base. Okay, so we're gonna dry this real quick. Please excuse the sound of my heat gun. Just don't want ink getting on my hands again while I'm making the card. You can tell when it's starting to dry because that ink color lightens up just a little bit. Alright. Now we're going to put this on the card base. I hate it. Oh, I'm actually out of tape. Instead of making you wait while I put more in, we'll just use the other one. What the heck? Sometimes I use a lot of tape, I know. there's that. We're going to pop this up on some foam tape. I had a lot of fun on my trip. I don't know if you guys saw the little video with the stuff I bought from the pop-up shop and the cards that we made in class, but I am going to do a video or a couple videos on the techniques that I learned, both from Sharon, and if I'm saying, I hope I'm saying her name right. I was saying it right that day, and then it's like it's been a few days without saying it. And Danielle. Two very nice, awesome people. All right. Just gonna put this on the card. We'll stamp out our sentiment, and then we'll be done. I don't know if I told you guys this, but just so you know, I did order the May Simon Says stamp kit to do a card kit video. Plus, Riley really misses doing the card kit videos. And I also placed an order with Ellen Hudson with some items in it, and another small order from Simon Says Stamp. So you guys will see that soon. We're going to use the same sentiment because I already have a sentiment strip picked out, and I don't want to go digging because I'm trying to keep this video short. Alright, so we're going to use the Juniper Mist for the sentiment to tie it into the background, since the Juniper Mist was only used on the mat. Just gonna stamp it out once, make sure it stamps okay. Excuse my nails. I haven't cleaned the nail polish off from when I painted them to go to Delaware. Excuse me. Okay. And now I'm going to use the stone blue just on the edges. Got some on my finger. More hand sanitizer. I just like to make sure I'm not spreading it, because look, it got stuck in my nail. That's going to be fun to clean out later. I just want to make sure nothing's going to come off on my card. And even though we used foam tape on the background, I'm going to use foam squares to pop the sentiment up. And it's a little too long for my liking, so real quick I'm going to trim that down a little bit and re-ink the sides. Alright. foam squares on while we're waiting for it to dry. And I try to put one at either end and then space them out evenly in between. I also try to do that when I'm putting foam tape on panels. It keeps me from using too much. Okay. Oh my goodness, guys, I think I'm going to keep this video down to below 22 minutes. I love this stamp set already, both of these stamp sets, and I'll definitely be making some more cards to show you guys. I just wanted to make sure that I got a video out this weekend, even if it was Easter Day. Okay, that's it. So there's that one. And this one's on white, Nina Solar. Classic Crest 110. And Simon Says Stamp Fog. Leave a comment below. Let me know which one you like better. Let me know if you have joined Club Sursee. If you haven't, you should. And I hope you guys have a very safe, happy Easter and Sunday and a great week. If you like what you see here and you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification button because we have giveaways at least once a month, sometimes twice. And I hope to see or talk to you guys again soon. Bye bye.